I am at the Oswegatchie River in the Adirondacks, and I am getting ready to do 3 days of camping and canoeing. Got the canoe all set up down here already, and I'm just bringing the gear down. Just got to my first spot where I'm gonna have to pull the canoe through because it's too shallow. There's been a couple shallow spots where stuff was blocking the river, but you could just kind of power through it and slide over the top. But I'll get out here and pull this forward. I think that should be far enough. There were quite a few people at the boat launch, so I just loaded up the canoe really quickly and got in. I've been paddling for a couple miles at this point. And once I passed the first kind of group of people, I haven't seen anyone since then. My plan for today is to paddle about 14 miles upriver to the High Falls area. It's kind of like the main destination spot on the Oswegatchie. And then if I have time, hopefully I'll paddle up a little further and find a campsite past High Falls. But depending on how the day goes and time, I might stop before I get to High Falls and go there tomorrow, since I have another night. As usual, I'm just kind of doing whatever feels right in the moment. No plans, no specific plans. If you've seen my other video where I hiked the Cranberry Lake 50, I actually go to the High Falls in that video. The Cranberry Lake 50 trail is really close to this Oswegatchie. They're both right around the town of Wanakena. It's really easy paddling. It's super calm, although I am still I'm going upriver, so you can't really stop paddling or you start going in the wrong direction. But it's slow moving enough that when you're paddling, you don't really notice. Coming back will be even better though. So there are 45 numbered campsites along the Oswegatchie. This is campsite 40. You can see the marker there, which just makes it easy to spot, when there's a campsite. And they start at 45 closest to the launch and then count down as you get further away. So I've passed 5 so far, and this is my 6th one, I think it is. So I think I'm gonna stop here shortly for lunch. It's about 1 o'clock and I've gone, looks like just under 5 miles according to the GPS. So I'll probably paddle on a little bit more and then find a place just right in the boat. I'll probably just stay in the boat and stop and eat a little bit before continuing on towards High Falls. I just stepped off the boat to check out one of the campsites. It is not where I'm going to be staying for the night, but just thought I would get out and stretch my legs and take a look, because I haven't gotten out and looked at any of them yet. I've passed quite a few, and most of them are occupied. Although it doesn't feel like there's a lot of people out here. Not like I thought it might be. It's a holiday weekend, so I thought it could be pretty busy. There's the boat and the view from the campsite. Couple decent spots for a tent. Put one right there and put one right over there in the sun. Not too bad. Hopefully I'll be able to find something kind of like this for tonight. Be nice if it was right on the water like this. I'm about 10 miles in at this point, and it is going on about 4 o'clock. It is just so peaceful and quiet out here. It's one of the more remote feeling trips I've ever done. Probably next to, I'd say the most remote feeling I did was Cranberry Wilderness. And I made a video on that trip. And I'm not sure if it's just because I wasn't too familiar with that area or the time of year. There was a lot of snow on the ground, or there was some snow on the ground, I'm pretty sure. That trip just felt really remote. But so does this one. I mean, there's nothing around. You don't hear the roads. You don't see any structures or signs of civilization. I am just looking for a campsite that has the number sign on it. Because if I can find that, I'll be able to tell roughly where I am. And I haven't seen one for a while. Oh, actually here right in front of me is a bridge. I wonder if this is the Cranberry Lake Trail. Can't remember. Got a tough spot here. Gotta try that one again. I need more speed. All right. Let's try this one again. I can make it. I just need enough speed and momentum to get me over this section. I just passed campsite number 22. And I think the last campsite that I saw, that I noticed with a sign on it, was campsite 37. So it must be that a good portion of the campsites don't have the numbers visible. Either the numbers aren't visible from the river or the numbers are just gone. I saw spots that I assumed were campsites that didn't have signs, but I didn't realize that I had passed like, over 20 of them. And now I am stuck on a rock because I was talking to the camera and not paying attention to where I was going. I should have went that way, over there, or over there, but not right here. So I will figure out how to slide off this. It's difficult to see some of those rocks in the shadows. And there's another one. All right, I'm gonna look a little more carefully now. Well, I have found my campsite. It is right next to High Falls, pretty much. It's got a nice fire pit and a good flat spot for a tent. I can hear the falls right up the river, and I just saw this campsite right as I realized I was getting close to the falls, and no one's here, so I'm going to take this spot and kind of set up base camp here, and then I'll probably paddle up to the falls and check them out this evening, because it is just after 5 o'clock. I got a little while until it gets dark. But I will unload the canoe and start getting camp set up. I've got the map here so I can show you exactly what I did today. So this morning I started at the boat launch, which is right up here. I believe it's on Inlet Road, I think is what it's called. Yeah, Inlet Road. So it's on Inlet Road. Like I said, it's kind of like the main boat launch for the Oswegatchie. And I went upriver all the way down through here, past the two lean-tos, and continued through here up next to this yellow line is the Cranberry Lake 50, so you can see it runs really close to that through this section. And then I am right now somewhere just below High Falls, which you can see here with another lean-to symbol. And then tomorrow I will continue up above High Falls all the way down to campsites 3 and 4. And I'll probably stop there because from there you've got a roughly 2-mile portage to Lowe's Lake. And I think I'll just save that for another trip. So I'll come up here some distance tomorrow, turn back, and go downstream, hopefully a lot quicker than I went up, and get back into this area roughly for tomorrow night. That's kind of the brief overview. I am getting eaten alive by the bugs over there. The mosquitoes are really bad at the camp. That's one thing I forgot was bug dope. And I also didn't bring like a nice lightweight shirt, long sleeve shirt to wear. I have like a long sleeve merino, but it's still too warm to put that on. I think it's supposed to get down into the 50s tonight though, so it should be a really comfortable night. I'm looking forward to sleeping for a full 10 hours or more. Got the canoe up on land, and I am just going to walk this Portage Trail over to the falls. This is the Portage Trail so that you can get around the falls if you're canoeing upriver or downriver. Just spotted some really nice backpacking tents here. I don't know whose they are, who's camped out here, but Gossamer Gear, Cuban fiber. I think that's the one, is the model. I didn't know they made it in Cuban fiber though, unless they're doing a new model. And then a Z-Packs. I don't know which model that is. Looks like it has 2 poles. They all kind of look the same to me. I can't keep them straight. But climbed up to the top of the falls here. Got the fire going to help with the bugs, and I got dinner cooked, chicken and dumplings, mountain house. Just hanging out at camp. It's nice to actually have some time at camp when it's still daylight. I feel like usually I'm getting into camp right around sunset, and it's a rush to get everything set up, which is good too because you make the most of the day, but it's nice to just relax at camp for a while. First day of paddling here was great. Couldn't have went any better, really. It's really unique and not like anything I've ever done before. It is pretty easy paddling, but you are going upriver, so that adds a little bit of effort. And there are a lot of beaver dams, more than I was thinking. I probably 10 or so today, and some of them you can just barely get over, and some of them you've got to get out of the canoe and pull it across, which isn't a big deal, but it just takes time. Going back downriver is going to be way easier because you've got the current helping you, and then you can just cruise right over those beaver dams a lot easier. I don't think I'll have to get out for nearly as many on the way back. Supposedly tomorrow it's supposed to be more difficult to traverse the river once you get above high falls. I don't know if it's maybe smaller or less traveled or what it is, but we'll see. Just more obstacles, more beaver dams, not as well kept. So we'll see what that's like. I'd really like to get to that portage to Lowe's Lake, but I'm not sure if I'll make it all the way up there or not. There's also, they're calling for a chance of rain tomorrow, and I don't have service out here, so I can't check the weather, but that was what they were saying as of yesterday when I looked. So we'll see what the weather's like in the morning and go from there. I'm just gonna eat this dinner, if it's cooled down enough yet, and then I'll hang out by the fire and relax until it gets dark. That's pretty much my plan. Fire is starting to die down, and I'm about to get into the tent and call it a day. Planning to get a full 10 hours of sleep tonight, and I'll be ready to go for tomorrow's paddling. Morning. I've got camp all packed up, and I'm just getting the canoe back down on the water and loading up the gear. I just need to paddle up to High Falls again and portage the canoe around the falls, and then we will continue along the Oswegatchie. I had to wait out the rain this morning for a little while, so I'm getting started a little later than I would like. I get to test out the new yoke that I made for the canoe. It's a removable one with these. I bought the pieces separate and then just cut everything to fit. After my last trip and all the portaging I did, I figured I should get one. And then there's not really any portaging this trip, so it wasn't totally necessary, but I figured I'd bring it along and try it out. It's difficult to tell what the weather's going to do here. It keeps feeling like it's going to start raining, but then it kind of clears up a little bit and looks like it's going to pass. So I don't know. At the moment though, it feels like it's going to start raining. I've been paddling for about 2 hours or so this morning, up past High Falls. So I'm roughly like 4 miles in or so. I do not think I'm going to make it to kind of where I thought I would stop and turn around, only because I want to leave ample time in the day to work my way back towards the boat launch where I started. That way in the morning tomorrow, it's just a quick paddle out, and I've got a decent drive to get home yet. Essentially at this point, I'm just looking for a campsite or a nice spot to hang out for a little while, eat lunch, get some more water, and then turn around and start heading downriver. On the way back, I plan to stop at High Rock, whether that's tonight or tomorrow, I'm not sure. But that's kind of one of the other major stopping points along the Oswegatchie. And I actually, in the Cranberry Lake video that I did, I actually camped out on High Rock in that video, so you can see kind of the lookout from there. And hopefully I'll climb back up there. When I passed High Rock yesterday morning, there were just a bunch of people up there, so I didn't feel like getting out of the boat and climbing up there with a bunch of other people. Well, the rain has started, so I am going to get the rain gear on and get situated and keep paddling. I know earlier I said I was thinking of just finding a spot for lunch and eating and then turning around, but now I'm tempted to just make it to the end and make it all the way to that big portage and then turn around. I can't decide. So I'm going to keep paddling until I do. Keep paddling upriver until I do come to a decision. And as is typical, I'll probably get all this gear on and then it'll stop. But for the moment, it's starting to rain harder, so got new rain gear on this trip. Same rain pants, the Outdoor Research, but I've got the Montbell, it's called Storm something, I think. It's not their super ultralight one that's really popular. It's the next one. I think it's like the Storm GTX or something. It's just a Gore-Tex rain jacket that's got the pit zips and is still relatively light. I think it's like 10 ounces or so. But my previous event jacket just was wetting out constantly. And I've retired that one for backpacking, and now that's just my work rain jacket. And I got this new one. I got this one for Alaska specifically, and it worked out great. This is my first backpacking trip, or camping trip that I'm using it on. I got to get back into the canoe pack and get out the rain pants and probably grab some more food or something for this afternoon. I've been paddling pretty steadily now for a while. And the rain subsided a bit. I managed to get both of my muck boots full of water, which is kind of to be expected, but I was doing a good job keeping them dry up until that point. It's gotten pretty narrow and tight in the river, and there's a lot of obstacles, and it's pretty shallow in a lot of spots. So I'm just doing my best to kind of power my way through each of the spots and not stop too much. I've yet to see another person out on the river today, which is awesome. I'm guessing that the section of river above High Falls isn't used nearly as much as the portion that I did yesterday. I have made it to the turnaround point of my trip. I see a sign over here. I just pulled up ashore. I see a sign for a canoe carry. So this should be the canoe carry that takes you to Lowe's Lake. There's a trail register over here, so I'm just gonna see who all signed it and where their destinations were. Lunch today is Ritz crackers, cheese, and this smoked sausage. Pretty good. I haven't had it before. Now we start the journey back down. This is probably the most speed I've had this entire trip already, just immediately as soon as I start down. Still got a lot of beaver dams I'm gonna have to get out and cross, which I'm not really honestly looking forward to after already crossing them once. But we'll see how it goes. It is about 4:30, going on 4:30. So ideally, I would like to find a campsite around 6, if not before. I should be getting relatively close to High Falls, where I started this morning. And I know there were a few campsites further down the river from where I stayed last night, so I'll probably try to hit one of those. These corners are so tight. I just did one 180 degrees now. Got another one. Got it. hear the falls coming up, so I am basically there. That means we get to do the portage again. And here it is. So we are back to where we started this morning. And now, just need to find a campsite. I could stay at the campsite I stayed at last night, since it's right here. But I think I'll find something different. I don't know what number campsite the one I stayed at was, but I saw yesterday coming up campsite number 22 right along the river, and it looked pretty nice. So I might check that one out if I can get down there. I'm not sure how far it is from here, maybe a mile or so, maybe a little bit more than that, maybe a couple miles. I checked my GPS yesterday. The guidebook said that it was 14 miles from the inlet boat launch to High Falls, but my GPS registered 12 and a half miles. So it said I did 12 and a half yesterday, and so far today I haven't actually looked. Today I have 12.44 miles. So 6.25 miles to the boat, to the portage, the long portage that I rode up to this morning. Anyways, just looking for a campsite. Just found my campsite for the night. It's about 6 o'clock, so that worked out perfect. You can see it's a really awesome spot. It's great views. It's just right on the water. So I'm gonna unload, obviously, and then I'm gonna get a fire of some sort started, because the bugs are really bad. So I got the fire going, and I got my shelter set up. Just kind of rushing to get everything done before it gets dark. So I am now going to see if I can find some wood to keep the fire going for a while, because Right now I just scrounged up a few things around camp, and that's going to run out quickly. This campsite is actually right along the Cranberry Lake 50 trail. I'm walking on the Cranberry Lake 50 right now. So just about a year ago, a little less than a year ago, I was here and I walked right by on this same trail, walking in the other direction. So I'm just gonna look for a nice piece of wood somewhere. Hopefully just some standing dead tree will pop out to me here, and it'll be enough for the night. Very successful day today. I was able to make it all the way to my destination that I was hoping to that long portage, and then made it a good ways back too. So tomorrow, I don't know what I have, but 10 or 8 miles or something like that, 8 to 10. I always plan on filming more when I get to camp, but then I push it too long and don't have enough daylight. I'm just now sitting down from just doing everything that's needed to get camp set for the night. And I've got dinner here, another mountain house meal, and it's ready to go. So I'm going to eat that, and then by the time I'm done with the mountain house, it'll be dark and I'll get in the tent. I'm not actually cold, even though I'm bundled up. I'm just trying to stay away from the bugs. I didn't bring any bug dope. I think I might have mentioned that yesterday. And they're really bad here. The fire helps, but again, I'm like sweating, sitting in the fire basically, and with all these layers on. But once I get in the tent, I've got that internet in the Gatewood Cape, and I'll be comfortable. Excited to get these wet muck boots off. They've been wet since this morning. Luckily with the muck boots, it's like a neoprene material, so even though your feet are wet, you know, they stay nice and warm. And it's really not too cold this trip anyways. I think the lows are in like the low 50s and the highs are about 70 or mid 60s. Yesterday was probably 70 degrees and today is probably mid 60s. Yeah, so I'm going to sit down here and enjoy my mountain house meal, and then I've still got to inflate the sleeping pad and get that all set up in the tent, but I've got the tent set up at least, and that's it. I will see all of you in the morning. Good morning. Just getting up and getting everything packed up. I've got gear all over right now, and just getting ready to put on the wet boots, and not looking forward to that, so I'm kind of just sitting here. But I'm going to put on these boots and take down the shelter, get everything just thrown in the bag, and hop in the canoe. Just had a quick coffee and some granola for breakfast, and just made that right in the shelter. Rained a little bit last night, or this morning, around 5 or 5:30 I woke up and it was raining, so I slept for another half hour, an hour, and when I woke up again it wasn't raining anymore. And looks alright outside now. I'm going to put on these wet boots. So Winona's all packed and ready to go, and I've got camp all cleared out. Just gonna get on the water. All right, so I've got 8 or 9 miles or so to go. I'm gonna just see if I can get in a groove here and just knock out a few miles of consistent paddling. Again, since I'm going downriver instead of up now, I should be able to stop less and just float right over those beaver dams. There is one of the lean-tos on the Oswegatchie. That would be a nice spot to stay. When I came by on day 1, there was a big group staying there, but it looks like it would have been open last night. I'm at another Beaver Dam Crossing. I think this is the 4th or 5th one so far today. The sun's come out and it's warmed right up. Alright, so let's see if I can hop right over this dam. Alright. Alright, let's go take a look. So the weather's turned once again, and it was sunny a little while ago, and now there's a big storm, or seemingly a big storm, off in this direction. And I can hear thunder over there in the distance. It's not close. Hear that? It's getting closer. So yeah, I'll probably stop because that sounds much closer than before. Probably hard to tell how dark it is too, because the camera just auto adjusts to make it lighter, but it's gotten way darker. So I think I'm gonna find some cover and get out the rain pants, because I left those in the bag thinking I wouldn't need them. I got my rain jacket behind me, and the rain is starting now. Let's see if this looks like a good spot, maybe. Oh yeah, here comes the rain. The nice thing is, this is my last day. I mean, I'm just a couple miles, maybe 3 miles or so from the boat launch. So really, I mean, I can get wet. And I did bring a change of clothes this time, which I've got in the truck, as I figured there's a good chance I would need dry clothes. Alright, let's try for a little bit and see if I can find a better spot to hide from the rain, because the spot I was in wasn't protecting me too much. Found a nice spot out of the rain. Got enough cover here that it doesn't even seem like it's raining under this. The thunder and then the lightning just started to get really bad just a few seconds ago. So I decided I need to pull off. Should pass pretty quick. Seems like the worst of the storm is past at this point. Still raining pretty good, but that's alright. I'm pretty sure that I am paddling up to the boat launch right now. I think it's right around this corner, because I remember the first beaver dam that I had to cross, and I'm pretty sure that's the one I just came down. Hopefully the truck is still at the boat launch, and hopefully it starts. I'm always worried about getting stranded at trailheads and boat launches because typically I don't have any service there. So if the truck doesn't start, I don't know what I'm doing. Luckily for me, it's actually never happened, even though I've had some unreliable cars in the past. I guess I am the only person here, which explains why I haven't seen anyone since 2 nights ago. On the first night I saw a bunch of people that day and some people that night, but I haven't seen anyone since then. All right, It's weird because I would have just assumed it'd be busier on a holiday weekend like this, but I guess not. Rain's coming back. Well, that is it for this trip. As always, I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you in the next video.